people know. A lot of comics have that. They have multiverse where everything entwines with each other.
Yeah.
You know, and he basically put a splash page in the cinemas. Mm-hmm. You know, splash page is where it's like two pages that are the same picture. So yes, and that's basically what he did. Okay. And I'm sure somebody is gonna write and complain about this.
Okay.
In fact, there's going to be two things that I'm sure people are going to write and complain about. Well, maybe not write. They'll email me and go, "Oi, shut up, loser, idiot!" Oh my days. I think Clerks is one of the reasons why Star Wars came back.
Okay. That's a bold statement.
It is a very bold statement. Massive Star Wars fan that I am.
Yeah.
It wasn't referenced loads through the 90s. Not really. Especially the early to mid 90s.
Sure.
And then, of course, episode 1 and came out, and they had the special editions released in like 97. But this was filmed in 93, released in 94. Mm-hmm. I can't think of anything let's say, Spaceballs, that kind of reference Star Wars. Mm-hmm. There were books still, you know, and I think there was a couple of cartoon series in the late 80s and 90s. There was like Droids and the Ewoks.
Sure.
But things like the Ewoks, Caravan of Courage. Why are you sniggering at that?
I don't know, it's a funny name.
These were like the mid 80s. So basically, after Spaceballs, not much Star Wars.
Yeah.
Until they did I can't remember which came first, whether it was the special edition or episode 1.
I'm not
I think
sure.
It was special edition, came out in 97, and the episode 1 came out in 99, I think.
Okay.
Just off the top of my head. So Kevin Smith was referencing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Perfectly before, like, anybody else was.
Okay. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it's an interesting theory.
I think we can thank Kevin Smith for Star Wars now.
for the re-emergence of Star Wars popularity.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a theory. It's a theory. There's no proof.
No, I just can't think of anything else. Like, let's say between Spaceballs and 1994, I can't think of any other Star Wars reference.
Sure. We'll go with that. Why not? It's an interesting theory. I'm not going to say, Matt, you're right, because I don't know.
DM me if I'm wrong.
Well, let us know what you think about that.
I think it was Kevin Smith. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about Kevin Smith, because I haven't done that yet.
Our Lord and Saviour, Kevin Smith.
Go on, you talk.
I mean, I think it's hard to say how much he's influenced kind of my life, but definitely informed my sense of humour. I'm definitely expanded my vocabulary. And there's somewhere in probably the depths of Facebook, there's a picture of me at college stood next to my friend Kyle, where we kind of coincidentally look like Jay and Silent Bob. Obviously I didn't have a beard, but I was wearing a long
coat. So you were Bob?
Yeah, I was Bob.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, there's definitely a huge influence, and he's just such a joy to either listen to him talk or hear his dialogue. I think that's the one thing about Kevin Smith is his dialogue is instantly recognisable. It's like you can tell when someone's quoting Shakespeare. You can tell when someone's, saying a line of Kevin Smith dialogue.
Yeah.
It's very, very... He has a very, very specific way of writing.
Well, it's intelligent wit.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, I will say one thing I noticed about Clerks, rewatching it, was they talk very fast.
They do, yeah.
It almost reminds me of, like, 1920s reporters.
It's, yeah. Fast talking, high trousers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a really interesting way of writing dialogue where part of the time it's very much how people talk.
Yes, definitely.
Very natural. But then he has these kind of monologuing moments.
Oh, he does a good monologue.
He does a bloody amazing monologue. And,
every film that he's done is a great monologue in that. I mean, even recently, Jay and Silent Bob reboots. Ben Affleck does a fantastic monologue in there.
But, you know,
it's just brilliant.
So there are these moments where it's kind of, and this is what I mean by expanding my vocabulary, there's a kind of, you know, it's all kind of like dick jokes and the F word and talking about weed and, you know, a bit of smut and sophomoric humour.
Yeah.
And then suddenly pulls out of the bag this, you know, incredibly insightful, wordy monologue from, you know, that kind of blows your mind. And I think that that contrast is really effective, and that's what makes those monologues so brilliant, is that they're juxtaposed with this kind of, you know, Jay talking about his big balls.
Well, funnily enough, because the insightful monologue or the insightful line is normally spoken by Kevin Smith himself as Silent Bob when he does talk.
Of course you would give yourself the most insightful line.
Of course you would. So in my mind, does that mean that most of Kevin Smith films are like 90% Jay and then the last 10% are...
Not at all, because, you know, when you think
insightful,
about... No, because when you think about, in Clerks in particular, you know, there are conversations between other characters that are insightful, such as when Dante is talking to Veronica when they're behind the counter, when after Randall and Dante have their sort of food fight near the end of the film, you know, Randall has this kind of quite deep speech about Dante's, you know, outlook on life, that sort of thing. So I'm no way saying that the only person who says anything clever in these films is
no, that's not what I mean either. No,
but you know, I think that it's just you know, there are the deeper moments, and he balances it well between you know, someone talking about 37 dicks. So
yeah, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody has caught on. The reason we're doing episode 37 of Clerks is because of that line.
Yeah.
So hats off to Kevin Smith. You've made us dedicate a podcast to you essentially today.
Absolutely.
Speaking of lines, what's your favourite?
My favourite line. Now, this was really, really difficult.
There are a lot of good lines.
Because, you know, choosing a favourite line from a Kevin Smith film is like, well, all of them, pretty much.
There's an awful lot.
So, but I kind of metaphorically stuck my hand in a hat and picked out a random one.
Okay.
And it's after the incident in the bathroom with Caitlin and the dead guy. Mm-hmm. And it's Randall says, "My mom's been fucking a dead guy for 30 years. I call him Dad." Sorry for the expletive, everyone.
Great. Right.
We're talking about Clerks. We can't not say the F word.
I mean, it's mentioned quite a lot.
What's your favourite line?
Mine is, well, it's kind of, I mean, again, much like you, it was quite hard to decide. But there's this one, almost like a monologue. Mm-hmm. In fact, it is a monologue. And that's when Randall asks Dante, he says, "Which did you like better, Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back?" Dante goes, "Empire." Randall goes, "Blasphemy." Dante goes, "Empire had the better ending. I mean, Luke gets his hand cut off, find out Vader's his father, hand gets frozen, take away by Boba Fett, and then it's on such a down note. I mean, that's what life is, a series of down endings. All Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets." Which is so true.
Yes, it's true. And it's a good, you know, it's not only a good line, but it's a good kind of summary of Dante's character as well, and how he kind of looks at life.
Also, hey, seen a set of keys around here? No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Yes.
Again, an Indiana Jones reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a Jaws reference. Salsa shark.
Yes.
Man goes into cage. Cage goes into salsa.
Yeah. This is what I mean by the contrast of really silly, like, you know, silly kind of jokes and references and, you know, good and deep, insightful stuff about life.
Yes, it is. And, I mean, Randall and Dante are 22 at the time, you know. They're doing their first job. Everyone has that first job at that sort of age. Not really that sort of age, but they don't have a serious career. No. So, and obviously people are kind of stuck in a position for a while. And it, you know, very much Dante and Randall, this can sound very preposterous, but this was kind of how I was at that age, I guess.
Absolutely, and and also and
With a much smaller vocabulary, I must say.
yeah, but that is very reflective of how you are, in your early 20s. Everything seems so important, and it's really, probably not that important. Like your first job. I worked at Sainsbury's part-time, that wasn't important at all. I got fired.
What a big reveal.
Yeah.
Do your current company know about this?
No.
Oh my God. You lied on your CV.
I didn't lie.
You just didn't mention it.
No,
No,
of course
me
not. That was quite a few jobs ago.
Yeah. I think this film is perfect. I don't think this film could be done today.
No.
No, and I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to see it redone either. I think the 90s. You may be a bit young, but the 90s were very meh.
Cinematically or
no, just a lot of things.
General.
In general,
shell suits and
in the England, yeah, it just
no.
The music was good. Mm-hmm. Most other things,
yeah, fair enough.
It's all right, I suppose. But yeah, I truly adore Clerks. Oh, wait, hold on. We haven't said our favourite scene.
No, we haven't.
We haven't. Oh, bloody hell. oh, bloody hell.
Oh, bloody hell, mister. Oh, governor. What is your favourite scene, Matt?
Mine is the RVS video order scene where
Happy Scrappy Hero Pup.
yeah, I won't go into details, but that is very funny, and Randall's delivery and straight face for all of it is brilliant.
Yes, so he's reeling off some incredibly graphic porn titles.
Yes. All in front of a mother and her child,
Yeah.
who were just looking for this kids' film.
Happy Scrappy. Yeah, you stole my favourite scene, so I chose a different one. But again, it was easy to choose a favourite scene, because there are so many great ones. So my favourite scene is where they're talking about the different kinds of annoying customers, and it kind of has a series of
Navy SEALs.
Yeah, well, that was what I had written down as my reference point. Was, ooh, Navy SEALs. But also the where are the new releases? And then the shot widens out to show that they're right behind her.
You have the comedic music, and
yeah.
How much is this thing anyway?
Yeah, it's very, very funny. So that's my favourite, one of my favourite scenes, but that's my favourite scene for today.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question which we haven't prepared for.
Oh!
What is your favourite scene in any Kevin Smith film?
Ah, wow. That is...
on the spot. Freya's on the spot.
And now this is going to sound a little bit bad, but what immediately springs to mind is the scene in Dogma where Loki
with the shit monster.
No, not the Go Gotham shit demon. So it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, Loki and what's the other one called? Bartleby.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't remember them.
It's alright.
Anyways, where they go and see the executives of movies.
Ah, right, yes.
So it is the scene where that whole scene is really, really brilliant, and I love it.
Yes. Okay.
So that is my answer. Wow.
Good.
What was yours? Do you have one?
Well, that was a very good answer. Mine is the final scene of Chasing Amy, where Ben Affleck's character reveals that he's done a comic book based on them, and just everything about that scene, the way it's shot, the zoom out of they're doing a signing at a like Comic-Con type thing, comic convention, and the music that's playing over the top of it, all of the characters' reactions, the music by Soul Asylum, which we'll come on to them in a second. It's song We Three, which is one of the saddest songs ever, and it fits so perfectly with that film. I almost cry. See,
I need to rewatch. I haven't seen Chasing Amy for a long time. It's not my favourite. It's probably my least favourite.
Really? Oh, blasphemy.
But again, that does have a very good scene in it one of my favourite scenes. It's